Your name is in the news. Your face is everywhere. People are whispering about you behind your back. Why? Because you're a suspect, not a criminal, a suspect. To many people out there, they don't fully understand the difference between the two concepts. Hello, everyone. Thank you for watching. I'm going to talk about a topic which interests me, and that topic is, should we release the name of a suspect? As always, I'm not giving you legal advice. I'm giving you my opinions and my analysis. If you want to know what the laws are in your area, speak to the right lawyer who knows your area. To begin with, what is a suspect? Usually it's not someone who's picked at random, it's not someone picked at random. It's someone who we believe committed that crime, or there's a very good reason to believe that's the person. One example, that person got reported, that person fits the description of a witness, or that person was seen close to the scene of the crime, and hopefully we can resolve it. After full investigation, we find out that that person indeed committed the crime, or we find out that person is totally innocent. That's why they are suspect. We are investigating. And now the question is, if that person is a suspect, should media release their names as a suspect? One argument in favor is because the media is not lying. They give the person's name and say that person is a suspect. And a suspect by definition means not completely certain. So for that reason, the media are not accusing them. They're saying is suspect. I myself don't agree with the argument for releasing the names. So you obviously know my standpoint. I will give you my opinions and why. First of all, people reading the news don't fully understand the true meaning of the word suspect. What happens, they'll keep hearing the person's name, they'll keep hearing the crime over and over again in the news. The crime occurs, that person's name, they will start accusing that person in their minds. And maybe they read the article about a suspect, they don't read about the article where they were later found not guilty or proven to be innocent, or they don't fully understand the terms when they say that, but in their minds they kept hearing that person's name, and in their minds that person will be guilty. And of course, therefore, there is the potential to destroy the life of an innocent person. I'm going to relate one well-known case, what happened in the year 2018. This was at Gatwick Airport, which is a very busy airport, which makes it worse. I believe it was around Christmas time. There were sightings of drones and reports of drones near the airport. And of course, that's serious. A collision between an aircraft and a drone is a very big issue. And what makes it worse, Gatwick is an extremely busy airport. And I believe that airport was closed for many hours because of the drone sightings. From what I read, it affected about 140,000 passengers and disrupted about 1,000 flights. So needless to say, it's a very big issue. From what I've read in that area, in general, suspects' names should not be released except under certain conditions. Of course, I'm not the legal expert. I cannot tell you under what conditions they can or cannot be. But whatever the reasons, in this situation, their names were released. Two innocent people, Paul and Elaine Gate, were big suspects. There was circumstantial evidence. They lived close to the airport. I believe the man has a love for remote-controlled aircraft and drones, and that's part of all of what made them big suspects. The two of them were never formally accused, but they were arrested as suspects. They were held in custody for, I believe, about 36 hours. And in that time, they could not communicate with the outside world, is what I was told. Their names were publicized throughout the world. And there was enormous public judgment, which had enormous consequences on two innocent people. And though innocent, their lives were at that time impacted as if they are guilty. And obviously they felt extremely violated and took an enormous toll on their lives. The good news is they were eventually proven to be innocent. I believe he had a good alibi. He was at work at the time, and they did receive compensation. I'm not here to judge if the compensation was the right amount, should have been higher, should have been lower. They did receive compensation. But that shows how releasing names of suspects can destroy the lives of innocent people. My opinion is not only should we not release the names of suspects, we should not even release descriptions about them. For example, let's say they mention a married couple who lives in this particular suburb of London. Here's 2 reasons, and they mention that suburb. Here's 2 reasons why not. They are the only couple in that area, and they're not the only couple in that area. That seems strange, and I'll explain that. If they're the only couple in that area who fly drones, everyone who knows them will start suspecting them. So even though the names are not mentioned, it can still destroy their lives. And let's say they're not the only couple, then all couples in that area will suddenly become suspects. Or someone will know another couple in that area flies drones, doesn't realize that there's other couples, and starts suspecting them. So I think don't give out any details other than the fact that we have one person who's a suspect, we have 2 people who are suspects, and I'm certain the passengers for those flights at Gatwick were very anxious to find out what's going on. But they don't need to know the names of the suspects to know what's happening. They need to know, is there progress, is there not progress, how likely to be resolved, and what's going to happen with their flights. And I'll give you one other arguably amusing story to show how names are not the most important thing. This happened to me more than 30 years ago, and I'm not feeling sorry for myself. I mean, for goodness sake, there are far worse things that can happen to a person. This is still not a pleasant experience. I was stuck in an elevator for more than 2 hours. And what happened, I think, this is more than 30 years ago. I don't remember all the details. I just remember what this man said. I'll never forget. I found a little telephone. I think it was hidden behind a little door that I opened. And I reported, I'm stuck in this elevator. It hasn't moved. And the person said, thank you. We're going to investigate. We're going to bring people over to fix it. Much later, I can't remember, this is many years ago, let's say an hour later, I suddenly realized, it's over an hour. I'm still stuck over here. Let's see what's going on. I went to that phone. I talked to someone. Oh, I forgot. There's a picture of me. See? I'm sure you recognize me. Anyway, so what happened was maybe an hour later, I picked up that phone. There I am again. And I said to them, person, I've been here for about an hour. Do you know what's happening? Are they fixing the elevator? Are they not fixing it? Because I reported it earlier. I will never forget the man's response. He said to me, actually, I'm not sure, but if you want to, I can find out for you. Like, I may or may not want to know. Actually, it was so long ago, I don't remember his response. What I should have said is, I'm not sure. I'm just asking out of curiosity. That's all. It's not a big deal. It's just curious. Anyway, I'll never forget that response. I don't know if it's funny or not funny. He said, I'm not sure, but I can find out for you if you want to know. Anyway, one thing I do know for certain, I wasn't interested in the names of the people involved, who I'm talking to or who's fixing it. What I was interested in is, are they fixing the elevator and have they made progress? That's what was important. Okay, so my opinion is we don't just release the names of the people, but I think we should not release descriptions of them either. It's depending what the descriptions are, but in general, I believe it's just good enough to advise people we have 1 suspect or 2 suspects. Okay, and I'll give 2 strange, they seem to be contradictory reasons. Let's say this issue with the drones, if they announce we have a couple who live in this suburb of London. They don't give the names. There's two reasons why I don't like that. Firstly, if they're the only couple in that suburb who fly drones. The other reason is if there's more than one couple in that area who fly drones. And I'll explain, if they're the only couple, then people will automatically start suspecting them. People who live in that suburb or people with drones say, it must be them because they're the couple who fly drones in this area. If there's more than one couple, they'll all become suspects. People look at them and think, oh, they're the ones doing it. Or someone knows another couple who flies drones in that area of London and doesn't realize there's a few couples in that area, so they'll start suspecting these people. So all the couples in that area will be suspected. And I'm certain the passengers are very anxious to know what's happening, but they don't need to know details of the people to know what's happening. They're interested in the progress. Is it one suspect? Is it two suspects? How likely is it that this issue will be resolved? That's the main thing rather than the names. Same principle with my elevator, although there's no comparison between this and what happened at Gatwick. I'm explaining the concept that what is happening is more important than the progress, than the names of the suspects. That being said, I still believe if someone is a suspect, you have to take them in for questioning. Let's just say a crime occurs, and make it easy, let's call the suspects A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. I'm making that up now. These letters doesn't represent anything else relating to the letters A, B, C, D, E. If there's anything else in the law which relates to A, B, C, D, E, that's coincidence. I'm just making it up now. A crime occurs, person A is a suspect, we bring person A in, A is innocent. Person B is brought in as a suspect. In full investigation, B is innocent. Person C is brought in. Person C is, after a thorough investigation, person C is innocent. Bring in person D is guilty. Without a doubt, D is the one who committed the crime. So why is it important to bring in those people for questioning? If we don't go through the innocent people, we'll never catch the guilty one. If we don't investigate a suspect because we're not totally sure, we will never catch the person who really did it. I still believe there should be certain rules involved with that. And once again, I'm not giving any legal advice. I'm giving my opinions, what should or shouldn't happen, as if I'm the lawmaker. Okay? If you bring a suspect for questioning, just as I said before, the names and the details of who they are should not be released to the public. Of course, you can release that you have suspects, or you can release how many suspects. We've got 3 people, we've got 1 person, whatever the number is, but not any more details like where they live or anything that which might make someone look suspicious. And as they are suspects, means we're not absolutely certain. They might be innocent. Therefore, we don't treat them as if they are criminals. We don't look down at them with like a dirty face. Okay? I'm not saying they have to be put in a 5-star hotel and given 5-star catering with food, but you don't treat them as if they're criminals, like look down or sit there like these are horrible people. What you do is you explain the truth. We get all suspects. We're trying to get the bottom of who isn't. Therefore, we have to question everyone to resolve it. And as it probably is not a nice experience, be careful not to ask questions which are not necessary. Of course, we're trying to investigate, are they guilty, are they not guilty? But if it's not necessary to ask a question for finding out if they're guilty or not, then don't. Just do whatever's necessary. That's our point. What's necessary to get to the bottom if they're the person or not the person. And of course, the one obvious rule, do not cross the line and make a false claim. Don't accuse them of something when you're not completely certain. Those are my thoughts. What are yours? And as always, you're welcome to disagree with me. That's what freedom of speech is, and that's what the comments below is. Do you think we should or shouldn't release the names of suspects? What's your opinion? Let me know, and I appreciate that you all watched. And take care, everyone.